and we are here today and we're gonna make roasted ratatouille. We have our oven preheating to 425 degrees and we're gonna start with about a pound of eggplant. Okay, so I'm just gonna take off the top and bottom and cut them into sort of large pieces, like one inch chunks. Okay, nice work, kiddo. And the reason you want to leave them kind of large is because they will lose a lot of moisture when they're roasting in the oven, and I like to have some texture in my ratatouille. Okay, can you take your bread off of the baking sheet and put all of these guys on? And the thing I like about ratatouille is that it's a really just rustic, simple dish.
It's rustic.
It's rustic. Yeah. All on the baking sheet. So now we have all of our eggplants on the baking sheet, and I'm going to cut up 3 zucchini, and this is about 3/4 of a pound. So for the zucchini, I'm gonna trim off the tops and bottoms of them, slice them in half, and then just cut them into, I guess, about 1 inch rounds, or 1 inch half moons rather.
I can't do it.
How about you transfer all of those over there with the eggplant.
Zucchini.
Zucchini.
Can I do it?
Yes, you may. So onto this we're going to put maybe like a 1/4 cup. Remember, in circles. Whoosh. That's good. Okay, and then onto that we're going to put a pinch, probably about maybe half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Okay, and freshly ground black pepper. Lots of pepper. And okay, and then we'll just gently kind of toss this together. We have all of our zucchini and eggplant tossed with salt and pepper and olive oil, and this is just going to go into the oven to roast for a little while. Hey. Hey. So we have 2 medium onions that I have cut in half, and I'm going to just give a quick chop to. Our eggplant and zucchini have been roasting in the oven at 425 for almost 45 minutes. So they're starting to soften and just starting to brown. And these just also are going to get a pretty rough chop.
Yep.
Yep.
And mix and move.
Ratatouille! Are you a rat?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do those.
Oh, okay. Please do those. So what we're going to do is pour some olive oil.
Can I do it myself?
Yes, you may. Onto the onions, just a few tablespoons, a tiny bit more. Perfect. Okay, and we need some salt and pepper. So just like a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, and a few turns of freshly ground black pepper. Fabulous. So then now these onions are getting added.
I'll do mix with them.
Great. Perfect. My turn. Keep your hands away. I'm going to gently toss together the zucchini and eggplant now with the onion. And then to this, we're also going to throw in 1 bay leaf and about 5 sprigs of fresh thyme. Just break them up. Can you break those up for me, please?
What?
Yeah. And 1 very small sprig of fresh rosemary. Okay, so on to this goes like a half teaspoon of chopped fresh rosemary and our sprigs of thyme. We have about 5 or 6 sprigs of thyme. Okay, so that's all tossed together, and this is going to go back into the oven for another half hour. So we're going to make the next layer, prepare the next layer of the ratatouille. The first thing that we're going to do is I have 4 pretty large cloves of garlic, and I've peeled them and trimmed off kind of the woody end, and I'm going to slice them into very thin discs. Nice work. So those are all of our little garlic slices in there, and now to that we're going to add 2 pints of cherry tomatoes, and we're just going to take them and do a quick slice in half and toss them in the bowl.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Scott.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, so now our 2 pints of cherry tomatoes are in the bowl with our garlic, and to that we're going to add about a tablespoon of tomato paste. Whoop. Mix it in. Okay, and 1 anchovy fillet that we're just going to use a fork to smash it up. Can you smash that really good? And if you don't have an anchovy fillet, you can also use anchovy paste. Hold on. I'm going to smoosh that a little bit more, okay?
Mom, I want to have there.
And the anchovy, if you don't like anchovy flavor, it's totally optional. I kind of like the depth of flavor and the little saltiness that it adds.
Mom,
Okay, and the one more thing we're going to add, which is also optional, is a little pinch of red pepper flakes. Okay, these are real spicy, so I'm going to put these in. Okay, and I'm only adding maybe 1/8 or 1/4 of a teaspoon. You can add as much as you want since we're eating with Gigi. I try and keep the heat at a reasonable level.
This.
Anchovy paste.
This.
Yeah, that's anchovy paste. And then we're going to add a tiny pinch more of salt. Grand total in the whole recipe you're going to have about 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, but I like to salt and pepper each layer, so I kind of disperse it throughout the recipe. Nice job, and we're going to do lots of freshly ground black pepper. Maybe 5 good turns. Okay, now gently toss this all together. Okay, so we're going to drizzle
Do you want to
on
do it?
another tablespoon of olive oil. That's perfect.
It's in a glue.
So we're just going to give this all a quick toss together, and it's going to go back in the oven and roast until everything is nice and caramelized. So one thing that's really great about ratatouille is that it can be made ahead of time. You can make it the day before or earlier in the day. We've made ours during Lulu's morning nap, and now we're just letting it rest before lunch. So you can serve it the next day too. It's one of those dishes that just gets better as the flavors meld and it hangs out. Holy moly. So we like to do it over bread, sort of like a bruschetta. So G's just painting these breads, slices, some fresh bread with a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to pop it under the broiler and toast it before we eat it. So our ratatouille has cooled a little bit and rested. And then we have our toast that G put the olive oil on, and we broiled, and they're cool now, but while they were still warm, we smeared a little goat cheese on them. And then now we just top them with a bit of the ratatouille, and then you have a really simple lunch. Cheers. Okay. There you have it.
There you have it.
There you have it.
See you next time. So, I'm done with the butter.
Okay. Can you move? Oh boy.
I can hold this over too.
Okay. I'll sprinkle it all around like that. Or on one piece. Oh, yeah. So, wait. Don't eat the eggplant raw. We have all of our eggplant and zucchini tossed with olive oil and salt and pepper. Wait.
1, 2, 3.
4.
And then after this video, we're going to watch a little bit end of Nemo.
Oh, don't rub your eyes, sweet pea.
I'm going to have some steak and I'm going to chop it up.
Whoa, jeez. Okay. Whoa, no, those are glass.
Mom, I'll kill those. I'll kill those tomatoes. What's a
For that-
ratatouille?
We're making it.
This is called a rat.
Texture is called a rat.
I guess we can make cherry tomato soup. But right now we're making ratatouille.
Yeah, so maybe next time we can make cherry tomato soup. We already put the anchovy in there. Okay, so gently mix that all together.
No, that's
Okay.
sauce.
This one is anchovy paste.
Cut the top. Ah.
I think we forgot our olive oil.
I
We did! Thank you for helping, Christmas Morning. My favorite way, especially for lunch, which is what
And
we're...
my favorite way to eat
So that's what we're doing.
ratatouille sauce.
Okay. See
And
you next time!
you look smell good. You gotta try new food. My way tastes good. Good. Ratatouille, look